On and live. There we go. Who's going to start?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh,
You go.
not that it's a bad thing.
We've got to sort out one way of how to start it all.
We're started anyway.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Unplugged Health series. And today we are going to go through the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. Because so many people overcomplicate things, especially when it comes to their health. There's so many diets you can try, so many training methods. We spoke about supplements last time, and so many different foods which are going to be great for your health, to de-stress, to lower cholesterol, to defat your internal organs.
Yeah.
Is that a term? Defat?
I wouldn't think deflea, but it's not quite the right term.
Hopefully, foods that are going to help you get rid of fleas as well. And we want to just go through some of the things which we've seen, and I've seen as a practitioner in nutrition and in health. I'm sure you've seen a lot of things where people are just trying different methods that we know aren't sustainable. And the problem with that is just that they aren't sustainable, that they fall off, and usually when they fall off big.
Yeah, they're usually short-term gains, so people get really motivated. You know, the diet industry is great with that, of the cabbage diet and this one, and you know, taking one bit out of the diet, or I'm only going to eat this. They deliver short-term, but they're just not sustainable, and then people get frustrated. They either bounce from one thing to the other, or they just say, you know what, I'm just going to go healthy. I'm just going to enjoy it. You know, life's too short. And then that's when, you know, from the weight aspect, a lot of people then start gaining because they become disheartened. So I think keep it simple for many aspects in life. You know, whether it's, you know, relationships, health, financial, going back to basics, work. You know, healthy living, or what we design to eat, how we're designed to move and exercise. It's not rocket science. It's nothing new. This has been going on, and so I don't know about you, but you see trends. That you see things repeat. So I've suddenly realised when I'm going to some of the conferences and that I've suddenly gone through from, I'm in another category of chiropractors, and there's younger guys coming through, and they go, oh, you know, have you heard about this and this technique program or this? And you go, yeah, but I've done that years ago. But they just call it a different name. You know, someone brings out the same concept, they elaborate it, they make it a little more fancy, and they call it something different. And it just confuses people. But yes, it is. Most things there is some simple principles and simple guidelines.
And one of the problems we have is marketing, because simple doesn't market very well.
No, and
the basics don't market.
You can't market and sell a book if it's just going to say
moderation.
You know, the same stuff from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And that's not to say there's not advances and there's not changes and there's modern day science and we're learning more. But some of the key basic principles, they've stood the test of time. And if it's something new and it seems like a fad and it seems too good to be true and it's so simple, then it probably is a gimmick. And there is that old energy, you know, you create your own luck. It's hard graft. You get in and you work through it to gain success. So you've got to keep it simple. And I think, going back to when we were talking about last week with the supplements, is that where you're getting your information from, because there's the beauty of now we live in an information age. There's a lot of sharing ideas. My observation is that there's a lot of blogs out there which look very official, look very slick, and when you look at them and read them through, they're either repeating or someone's opinion. And someone's opinion is fine if it says, you know, like what we do with our podcast. These are our opinions, our observations, and they're not necessarily down as this is exactly the fact. So you've got to still go and do your research and go and work on simple principles of, is this reliable information? Is this from a sound source? Can I take this at face value, or do I observe a couple of things and I start seeing similar trends? Because if it is new and exciting and it's too good to be true, someone's probably put a spin on on a concept and look. I always say the cynic in me looks for the product and looks for the sell, because there's usually a marketing. Marketing is huge in health. It's huge in medicine. It's huge in health at the moment.
There's a couple of things with that. The first one, I'll go through how I would look to work with a client, because that's really good information in order to let people see how to keep it simple. But there was an article which said about a study on influencer information, talking about social media influencers. 90% of the information is actually wrong, what they're saying. But the problem is they've got 90,000, 100,000, 60,000 followers, and people see that every single day, and they're the celebrities of the modern age. And we see this, we think, oh, they're in great shape, but we don't see that they've been paid to promote this certain product, rather than actually had a personal trainer working 5 times a week and actually not following the advice they're actually saying. But working with clients, the frustration we all get as a human being is we want things quickly. We want to change
results,
quickly.
We want to see that we're getting something back.
I want to make sure with a client that we get good focus, good energy, and we feel really good quick. But the problem that a lot of people have is the scale doesn't go down as quick as they could do if they followed one of these unsustainable diets, but they don't see it goes down, up, because they're falling off, down, up.
Or what they've actually lost to get the scale down, because sometimes if you put the right things in place, I'm sure you see it with the exercise, you put the right macros in place, you put the right exercise in place, initially you might find the scale goes up, which for someone who's so capable of focuses on weight loss is soul destroying. And so you've got to stick with him and say these are basic principles, stay with it.
Well, you lose the £5 in the first week and then none in the second week. Because there's just so much rubbish in the system.
Now it's not working.
And it's the same thing, and that's why so many people fall off. But a lot of people want to go really hard straight away. They want to go in the gym, smash it up 4 or 5 times, or they want to work out 5 times a week, even though their schedule doesn't permit it. I'll start someone off 2-3 times a week, because that's what's going to actually get done. Now, if someone can't actually go to the gym and work out because they've actually been so stressed previously, and their stress has built up, which has lowered their health, then we're going to just start with movement. We're going to start actually, there was one lady that I worked with, Katie, who would be happy for me to say it, that, and she's said about it on Facebook as well, the first 3 months we worked together, she didn't work out at the gym. She done walks, she done movement, she was riding her horse and things like that, but she wasn't working out at the gym because her stress levels were far too high. So we had to pull back, that slow down to speed up principle. And the problem with that is that it is keeping it simple. But people are paying money because they want to get healthy, thinking they have to go to the gym to get healthy.
Well, and also that health comes from what you do most often through time is what your body becomes. We have it with our practice of work hard in our care programs of keeping them in phases of time, so people understand these are, trying to explain these are what our goals are in a space of time, and then we do re-evaluations. But it is also trying to, on one hand, meet someone where they are, but on the other hand also use your experience and guidance, saying, listen, this is where we're going to go, but going back to the basics and saying, this is the basics of physiology, this is the basics of how your body works. So for me, keeping it simple from a health perspective is going back to the bare basics of, well, what is my body designed to do? What is my body designed to eat? What is my body really designed to move? So it sounds great, you know, when we look at the London Marathon, and who doesn't after London Marathon feel motivated to go running or so? But for someone who hasn't run for years, they're just saying, I'm never doing that again.
There was someone on Facebook put something out when just before the marathon, said, people that run the marathon do know they don't have to run the marathon, don't they?
Yeah, there is the car. You do have wheels. But if you keep it simple and saying, what is my body designed to do? It's designed to move. So if someone's not doing a huge amount of exercise, they don't need to go and pound themselves. The trouble with that is in the beginning, everyone's highly motivated. So they have a lot of motivation and not necessarily much wisdom. And so they burn out or they pick up an injury. So it's like, well, yes, your goal might be to run a marathon, but let's start with walking. Let's retrain and let's get the nervous system and the muscles and the joints and the ligaments working so that you've got a platform to build. And I think so a lot of people get carried away. They make it too complicated. They then design this elaborate exercise program or meal plans, and it's like, well, the first point of principle is keep it simple. Go back to the basics of what am I actually designed? I'm an animal, what am I designed to eat? If you look at your cat or your dog, you keep it simple for them. So why do we make it so complicated? And a lot of it is we pulled between modern day trends and technology, and we add everything on top of it.
When you actually look at people's food practices anyway, outside of when they're quote unquote dieting, you can actually see trends where they have the same 9-10 meals every couple of weeks and they just rotate it. Monday night might be bolognese night, Tuesday night is chips and chicken night or something, Wednesday is lasagna or something like this, and then they just rotate those meals.
Yeah, they say something, I can't remember.
I think it was like 8 or 9 meals was the average.
Yeah, and that there is usually kind of, I can't remember their number, it's from the Pillars of Health of Dr. Chatterjee. It was along the lines of that most people, I think don't stray away from probably about 8 or 9, 10 different ingredients across the board.
And I know that's not very varied, but as soon as you put someone on a plan, they think they're actually, and they may have more options on the plan, but they think that they're restricted. Because they're not having these foods that they actually had previously that have got them to that unhealthy state. Now, you could still have foods, it's a matter of counting where you're at. And where I would work with people is to, first off, we need to make sure hydration is on point. We need to look at sleep for stress levels. What are the practices there, the AM, PM bookends? What are they doing when they wake up? Are they straight off reaching for their phone and scrolling through Facebook? Starting with reactive rather than...
When keeping it simple, a lot of people don't even stop and think that their sleep patterns would affect their weight loss.
I know.
And that's what I mean by going back to the basics. Keep it simple. Say, no, what am I designed to do? So we know about the foods we eat, but actually I'm designed to get rest and get sleep. And you don't need to go into know all the ins and outs of why. Just knowing, well, as an animal and as a human, what do I already know? So that's what I'd say with people, start by keeping it simple. What do you already know? What do you know the basic principles of health are? And start from there.
I think that is a good place to actually round it up for this episode.
So comments and feedbacks are always welcome, and we love getting the feedback, so please keep getting them in. What simple things, what simple daily practices work for you? What are the things that you go back to when life gets busy and hectic and we go away on a holiday and do this and we come back? So right, and we say it, we need to get back to the straight and narrow. What are the basic, keep it simple principles in your life that you go back to, which are your grounding points? Is it sleep? Is it a basic diet? Is you focus on taking out the sweets and treats? What is it for you? What's your KISS principles? That I'd be very interested to know.
Thanks for watching or listening, wherever you're actually consuming the content, and we shall speak to you soon.
We'll catch you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.